Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of the FNN Politics and Power Series. I'm Melissa Thomas, your host. And today I have the honor of hosting our guest, Sandra Fatmi-Hall, who is now running for Orange County District 2. She launched her campaign last Friday, so we'll get into all of that fun stuff once we bring her on. Now, normally I have a bio for you guys that's ready to read, kind of share a little bit about the guests that I have coming on. But with Mrs. Fatmi-Hall, trust me, she is prepared. If you haven't seen her campaign ad yet, here it is. Take a look.
My name is Sandra Fatmi-Hall, and I am running to be your next District 2 Orange County Commissioner. I will not only partner with you, but I will represent your voice. As a former bank manager, I was responsible for the strategic growth and alignment of $93 million. And as a team, we were successful in producing jobs and aligning the company's goals along with the community. Apopka, Zellwood, Tangerine, Eatonville, Ocoee, Lockhart, College Park, and Pine Hills. As your commissioner, I will focus on working together for increased educational values, working together for public safety. We're going through a crisis. Working together for healthcare, and working to improve infrastructure. My name is Sandra Fatmi-Hall, and I'm running to be your next Orange County Commissioner, and I am qualified.
All right, as you can see, we have Sandra Fatmi-Hall here. Welcome to the show. Thanks so much for taking the time.
Thank you so much, Melissa Thomas. I really appreciate Florida National News for giving me this opportunity and this platform.
Absolutely. So, first, I like to ask all my guests this. We've just pretty much come through the heaviest portion of the COVID-19 pandemic. So, I wanted to ask you, like, how have you been able to handle the pandemic, and what were your thoughts on Orange County's response to it?
Well, from day one, we realized that this was a crisis, even before it became a crisis. And I'll tell you why, because my husband and I were on a cruise. We were on a cruise February of
Ooh,
2020. Yes, ma'am.
wow.
And once they pulled our access to helping ourselves with food, we said, whoa, this is pretty serious. What's going on here? And we were out of Puerto Rico. So we had to
Mm,
dock there, and it just took a different turn. So we knew this was pretty serious before it became serious, and flew back to Orlando and just kept following the news, watching what was taking place. I mean, we never took our eyes off the TV and just followed what the instructions were. You know, um, one of my thoughts about Orange County and the pandemic response,
mhm.
I have to tell you, I think Orange County's pandemic response was handled with precision by putting the people and our safety first. That's what I saw. Mayor Demmons and his team made sure that we were realized the danger and the severity of what
Mhm.
this coronavirus was, and he took action immediately. He and his team took action immediately, even when it was not popular throughout the state. He made sure that he took strict action. That was very effective. And Mayor Demmons has a goal to work towards being a herd immunity, which is about 79 to 80% of our community being vaccinated. And he made sure from phase 1 to phase 2 to phase 3 in shutting down different areas and crowds of 50 or less or 50 or more. He made sure to put strategic things in place and made sure that the PPE was a must. Wear your mask. Now, where we are today, the numbers are on the uptick, but please, your listening audience has to really realize that this uptick is based on 100% of those individuals not being vaccinated. So that's
Mhm.
extremely important. That's not the right direction that we want to go in. So I think at the end of the day, Orange County has done an amazing job under the leadership of Mayor Demmons. And To sum it up, education and messaging is the key, and I think we just need to pay attention to making sure that we don't go back in the wrong direction, but we keep our numbers down. Mhm.
Very well said. Very well said. And I mean, we actually, live streamed the press conference yesterday, and Dr. Pino is reiterating the same message that you're sharing. Like, this is the numbers not going in the direction we want, but it's also stressing the importance of folks to get vaccinated. And for those who are still hesitant, like, this is from me to you. Do whatever homework is necessary to put your mind at ease, to get vaccinated, because even with the variants, the vaccines that are out now, reports are showing that those vaccines actually help protect against the variants. So
Absolutely. And just to add really quick, my husband and I have been fully vaccinated since the beginning of February. So, we took it in making sure that we got our shots. And yeah.
awesome. Glad you guys have been protected and safe. And thanks for sharing your thoughts on the response. So, guys, we're going to get into the deeper conversation about Ms. Fatmi-Hall's candidacy. For now, we're going to take a brief commercial break, and we're going to come back and get right into that conversation. Stay tuned.
The Florida Lottery is proud to support education by contributing billions of dollars to Florida schools and awarding countless Bright Future scholarships, so Florida students can do more than just dream of a brighter future. They can create one. Learn more at flalottery.com.
And just like that, we are back. So we're here with Ms. Sandra Fatmi-Hall, who is candidate for Orange County Commission District 2. Thanks again for being here. So firstly, I wanted to, as I mentioned before I ran the ad, you launched your campaign last Friday. So kind of give our audience, like, how did that go? What was the feedback you got? What were you able to raise? Kind of give us the details.
Well, I'm telling you that we are so super excited. Yes, we did launch on Friday. Exciting, exciting. But I want to give a quick shout out to my campaign manager, if I can, Don Curtis, and our host committee, because they got the ball rolling. So our host committee was namely Mr. Dennis Hall, Dr. Trisha Bailey, Zarita Pretty Palmanu, Attorney Greg Jackson, Bishop Derek McCrae, Julian Serrano O'Neill, Rich Black, and last but not least, Mark and Catherine Hagan, for stepping up with their support to kick this campaign off. The kickoff and launch of the campaign went very, very well. The event was well attended, and the energy and support was encouraging and refreshing throughout the room. I'm humbled to share that the feedback was positive, absolutely positive, and focused on the excitement of me finally deciding to run to be the change I want to see in District 2. They felt the work that has been done in the community will continue, and leadership is always key. So, and I'll tell you, the excitement is huge, and I'm extremely excited about that, because that means that the community is remaining engaged, and that's what we can ask them to do. That's all we can ask them to do, is to stay engaged and be a part of the change they want to see. So that's what they're doing.
And you mentioned it was kind of a long time coming. What was that final push for you to make you decide, like, okay, like, this go round, I'm actually gonna run?
Well, a long time coming from the standpoint over the past 11 years to run for office, to be a positive change in the community and continue my leadership. Well, the final push came at the beginning of the year when a few friends in succession, one after the other, just kept coming to me and consistently spoke about the collaborative efforts accomplished in Pine Hills under my leadership and the positive outcomes. So I started praying about it. I had to, because every single thing that I do, I start off with prayer. If anyone that knows me knows that's my heart. That's what I do. And truthfully said, God, if this is your bringing me to it, please bring me through it and send the village. And I have to tell you, he has done just that. So that was the final push. that gave me the confidence to say, here, this is what he wants you to do. He has brought the village you asked, and here we are.
Amen on that. And that's actually just for the viewers. If you're a person of faith and you ask God for something and He gives it to you, ooh, make sure you deliver
Yes,
your end of the deal,
yes,
because He
absolutely.
always delivers His end of the deal. Awesome. So, for those who may be asking, obviously you address in your ad your qualifications. And I love that you spell that out at the end, like I am qualified. Like you made sure that there's no question at the end. But, even with all of those in mind, given your experience in the community, why would someone choose or why should someone choose to vote for you for Orange County District 2?
Well, I'm humbly, and I say that in all
Mhm.
sincerity, I'm humbly the best candidate because I care about our community. Let's start there. I simply
Mhm.
care. And you first have to have that quality and that servant's heart to care. Right? I'm a sincere public servant. Right? I started out serving the community because I wanted to bring about positive solutions. And for over 10 years, I've done just that. As a proven leader who consistently produces results through collaboration, I have brought youth enrichment to an all
Mhm.
time high at Evans High School of 97.6%, an increase in public safety through a mentorship program with Orange Kids United program for over 5 years. I've had that program through the Pine Hills Community Center. I've worked there, as well as infrastructure development to District 2 through the Pine Hills Community Council. And we consistently kept the conversation and awareness alive with dialogue and call to actions. And I'm an adaptable leader. What does that mean?
Mhm.
I'm
Okay.
capable of advocating and acting on the needs of the community. So in the middle of the pandemic, when we realized that there was a food insecurity, amongst other things that was taking place, we
Right.
answered that call. We answered that call. We didn't set out to do more than a week because that call was, can you help us get over the hump for the next week or so? And that was the answer. And here we are over a year later with over
Mhm.
1 million meals provided. So qualified, extremely important. What happens if we have another crisis that comes up in the
Right.
next 6 months?
Mhm.
You must be able to adapt, rally the community, rally as many supporters as you can. And I have to tell you, we started out with 1, 2, and 3. Now we're over 15, 20 partners that have come to the table. And that's what you must be able to do as a leader. Leadership is not just a position, leadership is action.
Right. For those who don't know, she does have that on her Facebook page. She shared that. That was a great quote. And thank you so much for sharing that. Appreciate it. Given the basically decade plus now of your community engagement, what has been the most common pain point that you've heard across the different townships and cities in District 2? Like, what has been the most common pain point and how would you resolve it once you get elected?
Pain point is the key word here that you used, right? Yes, I've been
Mhm.
active in the community for the past 10 years, and I'll tell you the most common pain point I've heard from District 2 residents consistently is the need for our leadership to listen to the voice of the people in all districts to bring about consistency and equity. So, Apopka,
Mhm.
Tangerine, Zellwood, Ocoee, Lockhart, Eatonville, College Park, and Pine Hills have to be focused on. And typically, when you focus in one area. There's 7, 8 areas here that cover District 2. It's important for us to understand that we have to do a voice of the people, listen to what those needs are. There's strength in unity and unity in strength. Let's work together to tackle all of those areas in those different towns to make sure that we are listening to the people. Very, very important. So that's the most common pain point that I've heard that needs to be addressed. So you'll have Pine Hills, for example. that will have a need for food insecurities. We address that. Maybe in South Apopka, we have another need. It's jobs. Are we
Mm.
listening to what those needs are, or are we just focused in one area? And that's important for us to understand that those areas all have needs, and we need to see what those needs are and be the solution, be the driver of that change.
And then this is kind of a follow question to that. But in obviously as a commissioner, you're working with, you're working with a board. Drawing from your previous experience in leadership, as the bank manager and things like that, how do you typically address differences of opinion or instances in which you have to kind of persuade a colleague or a business partner, a sponsor, that kind of thing, where you need to get what you want done for the folks that you serve, but perhaps there's a roadblock? How do you normally resolve that?
Everybody's opinion is important. It is, right? So we come to the table listening to every single person that's sitting at the table. So let's say it's six different people sitting at the table.
Hmm.
Let's hear why you feel this way. Let's hear why you think that your solution is the right solution. And at the end of the day, it's always for the greater good that we arrive at decisions. It's extremely important that everyone understands that everyone needs to be heard. And everyone needs to be heard because they're all bringing something different to the table. So I may have walked into the situation thinking that this is the solution, but hearing a difference of opinion, if they are making sense and it's for the greater good, then that's the solution that's best for all through listening to everyone's voice.
Thank you for sharing that. Appreciate it. And we're gonna continue our conversation, guys. We definitely wanted to touch on kind of the meat and potatoes of her candidacy, why she's running, kind of her passion for the community. So now when we come back on the other side of this commercial break, we're gonna get to learn a little bit more about Sandra Fatmi-Hall, the person. You guys always know in our politics and power interviews, I kind of get to the meat and potatoes first, and then on the latter end, we talk about the person themselves. So be sure to stay tuned. We've got a lot more coming.
At Taco John's, you can expect one thing: so good. As in quality ingredients used in tacos and burritos made just for you. Every single bite.
So good.
Expect nothing less at Taco John's.
And we are back with FNN Politics and Power with Sandra Fatmi-Hall, who's running for Orange County Commissioner District 2. And as promised, on this side of the break, we want to talk about you as a person, Sandra. So, obviously on the other side, we talked about, we got into your community engagement, but kind of flesh that out for us a little bit more. Talk about your nonprofit organization, UFCF. Talk about your passion for the youth as well. Kind of give our audience that full picture of that 10 years of service you've been doing.
I have to tell you, when I think about young people, it brings me so much joy. You just have no idea. I mean, when I wake up every single morning, the first thing I do is to put God first and I pray about what my day will look like because I ended it the night before with prayer. And it's important for everyone to understand that youth, the young people, I love them so much. Their perspective on life, on what the future looks like to them, hearing them talk about it is extremely, extremely important to me. So I know you talked about what am I involved in? Well, as the executive director of the United Foundation of Central Florida, I am the founder as well. And it's a 501c3 public organization formed in 2014 to bridge the gaps in our family, educational, and mentoring needs using a holistic approach. Our slogan is Empower Communities One Family at a Time. Just education, you might be able to fix, sports is not going so well. What about home? What about what's going on at home? What about what's going on at church? What about what's going on everywhere else? It's
Mhm.
important to use a holistic approach to mentoring and enrichment. That's extremely important. So that's my pride and joy. That's my baby. That's where we have done so many give backs and so much to benefit this community. our grand opening. Woo! 7 years. That's like a super duper exciting moment for me because that's a joy that's been realized. We know that we wanted to open a solution center, and it's just that, a solution center for homework, a solution center for us to have Orange County Sheriff's Office come in and do enter department. Mental health needs would be addressed. You name it, we do it there at the Solution Center. I'm super excited that we were able on May 13th to get that dream realized. And we're super excited about workshops that are coming up. So I can't wait to share that with your listening audience as soon as we finalize the dates. We
Mm.
make sure that we're creating a safe space. And that's what the United Foundation of Central Florida Solution Center is. And I have to tell you, it took a village to get that accomplished. And we would need another involved, but I'm going to say a grand and great big thank you to everyone that made that possible and was a part of helping to make the Solution Center a reality. So I'm super excited about it. I don't know if you can tell. I am also the immediate past president of the Pine Hills Community Council and currently sit on the board of directors. And the Pine Hills Community Center, Community Council, is the advocacy group for the 72,000 residents of Pine Hills. Huge deal. Oh, wow, you are so on cue. I love it. Yes, there I am on board. I know it's so exciting that we've been able to just bring about some unity and get some things done and working with Orange County and the Board of County Commissioners to make things happen for the residents of Pine Hill. So when you think about traffic studies, when you think about lights, it's too dark in a particular area. When you think about roadways, infrastructure, all of those things, Pine Hills Community Council in Pine Hills. So I'm excited about that. I'm also the immediate past president of the Caribbean American Chamber of Commerce of Florida. And it's the most diverse chamber in Florida because we're representing over 28 countries. So that's
Yeah,
extremely exciting. Yes, it is. And, we're going to shout out all of those 28 countries, but, repping Jamaica very hard as well. 28 countries.
of
It's
course.
important for everyone to know that we value every single individual from all of these countries. I'm also the past secretariat to the Jamaican Diaspora Advisory Board member for the 13 Southern states. And that was from
Mm.
2015 to 2019 with access to over 1 million Jamaicans. We were the voice for the voiceless, and to bring policy implementation as well was huge. So it's a lot of leadership roles that I've had to prepare me for a day such as this and a time such as this to be the leader that is about action and about making sure that the needs of the community are met to the best of our abilities.
Yeah, that is a lot of hats. That is a
Yes,
lot of hats.
that's right. And that's just a
Absolutely.
few. That's not all.
Right. Wow, that is amazing. I always joke with the folks that do so much. I'm like, at what point do you find time to sleep? Like, probably like a quick power nap here and there, and that's it. But like, that's
Yes,
amazing.
that's about it.
Mhm.
Yes, thank you. And I'm excited about it.
And just as a quick follow up to what you mentioned about being part of the diaspora leadership, did you find moments where that kind of bled over into your work in Pine Hills? Because of course, Pine Hills has a very high Caribbean population, very high Jamaican population. Were there
Yes.
ways that you could leverage your work over there to help, the work that you were doing in Pine Hills?
Yes, because it's important for you to educate, empower, and inform. And being in that role as secretary, it gave me the opportunity to do that. There's lots of people say, "Oh, I heard this is happening." We were able through this platform to bring accurate information. That's important because a lot of people will say, I heard
Mm,
this. Is this true? Under the leadership of the diaspora representative, I was able to bring accurate information because we had that one-on-one connection out of Jamaica to hear the accurate information and dispel any myth that was surrounding around any topic at all. So I'm super excited about that. all with.
Got you. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Appreciate that. Um, so given all of those hats that you've worn and are still wearing, because as you mentioned, that was like kind of the tip of the iceberg. You still do a lot. What normally keeps you going or motivated on the difficult days when you're, possibly several different roadblocks, things aren't quite going the way you want them to, maybe a specific goal is taking longer than you want it to. What kind of keeps you motivated every morning?
That's a great question. Everyone asks me that question because of so many hats. I have to tell you, it's pretty simple. It's a 3-letter word, God. I have to tell you, I put him in the driver's seat of my life. So when you do that, just imagine when he's driving, he's in control. That's
Mm-hmm.
extremely important for everyone to understand. Staying prayed up, making sure that you're consulting with him on a daily basis and just putting things in front of him. So if it's a difficult day ahead with 4 or 5 different events or 4 or 5 different speaking engagements, or just our young people in general, I have to be that positive person and that voice that they hear either first thing in the morning, in the middle of the day, or at the end of the evening, because it is a challenge to go through so many different things daily. And that's one thing that keeps me going. Up, put him first, and having someone and friends and family to talk to. And I'm fortunate as well to have a husband that is very open. You can talk to him about anything. That truly helps. And I have some amazing friends and support system. That's what takes me through the day. Absolutely. And I thank each and every one of them. And that includes young people too.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So it's different age ranges and different brackets, different groups. Yes, there they are. They keep me going. This is what I think about this, Miss Sandra. How about we do this? All of them. And, I definitely have to say thank you to each and every one of them. I always talk about my village. They're an inspiration and they do keep me going.
A village indeed. One thing that is impressive in terms of the sheer size of the students that you work with, that you serve, like there's a lot of them. You know what I mean? Like the students are engaged. It's not like they're there because they have to be or they're bored or something. Like they're there because they want to be. They're there because they want to make a difference. So definitely kudos where that is concerned. So before we go to this next commercial break, tell folks where they can find out more about UFCF if they want to get involved, or even FLU. The future. I think it's Future Leaders United. Do I have that correct?
Yes, that's the after school enrichment and mentoring program. Okay, absolutely. www.unitedfoundationcf.org is where you can find out so much information about donating, about getting involved, about our 3 vibrant programs. www.unitedfoundationcf, Central Florida dot of information. The website is managed by none other than Julian Serrano O'Neill, Mr. Morehouse man himself, that has done an amazing job from high school until now managing that website. Lots of information on there, very informative. You hear from our students, you hear from our community. I am extremely happy about this legacy that everyone should be motivated by because it helps to make a positive change.
Absolutely. And one more time, guys, in case you didn't catch it, it's at the bottom of your screen. www.unitedfoundationcf.org. So go there to find out more. Now, as we close things down, as we start to wrap up, we're going to take one final commercial break, and then we're going to come back and kind of leave the floor open to Sandra in case there's anything important that she wants to relay to you guys that we perhaps haven't discussed yet. So stay tuned.
I'm not picking it up. You pick it up.
I'm not picking it up.
Well, somebody's got to pick it up.
I'll pick it up. They're clean. 'Cause my hand is clean. Oh yeah, I'm Charmin clean. That's how I know they're clean.
Charmin Ultra Strong is woven like a washcloth and just cleans better.
Yeah, I'm Charmin clean.
The kid does have a
That's
point.
My hand is
Enjoy the go with Charmin. And for an extra clean finish, try Charmin Flushable Wipes.
All right, and we wrap things up here, Sandra. Kind of, if there's anything that you feel that the audience needs to know that we haven't discussed yet, feel free to share.
I want to be that light, that beacon of light that lets everyone understand that's important to participate in your local elections. I know everyone's, but understand locally, this is where you live. This is what affects you the most. So it's important for you as individuals to exercise your right to register, to vote, and to get involved. You're either part of the problem or part of the solution. You want to be a part of the solution in making sure that you put into office the most qualified candidate for the job that will help to bring about solutions for the future and for everyone in Zellwood, Tangerine, Ocoee, Lockhart, College Park, and Pine Hills. Go out there and make sure that you are a part of the change and that you're involved and engaged. That's the only way you will get your desired results to move us forward.
All right, mic drop. Well, thank you so much, Sandra, for taking the time to join us on the FNN Politics and Power series. We appreciate you for sure. Ladies and gentlemen, we made sure to give you the website for UFCS. So if you want to get involved, be sure to get involved with that as well. Appreciate your time, Sandra.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate you, Melissa. I've known you for years and you have been simply amazing. And just your growth is absolutely admirable. Thank you so much for your time today and for this platform.
Thank you. Appreciate it. All right, guys, and thank you for tuning in for today's edition of the FNN Politics and Power series. If you haven't yet, be sure to like, share, subscribe, follow, all that fun stuff. You'll find us at Florida National News on Facebook. We have several other Facebook pages going across the screen if you want to check us out there. And we have our YouTube channel, Florida National News. We're on Instagram at Florida National News as well. We want to make sure it was easy enough to remember. And if you are someone who is a business owner or someone who is perhaps in the corporate structure, you perhaps an executive, someone who's in marketing, or want to connect with someone who's in marketing to make sure that you promote on this platform, just shoot us an email at ads@floridanationalnews.com. Or if you want to sponsor one of our segments, be sure to shoot us an email at ads@floridanationalnews.com. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Have a great rest of your afternoon. We'll have another guest on Tuesday. So stay tuned on our social media. You will see who our lovely guest is going to be. Thanks so much.